Hey, this is Scuffed Bonsai, going to do a test today with a new phone and the Osmo Action. This is a Moto G Stylus 5G. It has 4 cameras in the back, 1 selfie camera, but basically we have a wide angle and a normal focal length, which we'll first try the wide angle. It does have some type of stabilization, which I will enable. Now what I'm going to do here is switch this to 1080p because actually this phone does not do 4K. At least at the moment. One cool feature of this phone is that it has a dual capture mode where it uses a selfie camera plus the other one. Here you can see the little thing to move it around. Just move it with your finger. That is super cool. You can switch them with that button on the screen. Or you can press this up here to do a full split screen instead of like a picture-in-picture. Like I said, you can move it around the selfie camera or you can flip them. The button so we get the full face. This is ultra wide, full 50-50 split. You can't change anything when you're recording in this mode. With these new phones, you definitely want to get a case of some type that goes further than the actual lenses. A lot of these phones have a huge area that juts out from the actual phone itself. Do you have a slow motion mode? I'm not sure how much it does. It looks like autofocus is not as good when it's in preview of that. Do you have a slow motion mode? I'm not sure how much it does. It looks like autofocus is not as good when it's in preview of that. So that's good to know. We've got the full wide on the Moto G Stylus 5G. And then I can switch to the normal a little bit. Most stable one here is probably the Moto, based on where my hand is. Gets the best stabilization. In this case, the Moto is going to be doing autofocus. That specific camera module does autofocus. I don't know if the ultra wide does. I kind of suspect that it does not, but I could be wrong. Didn't want to stay in there too long. The main negative I've noticed of this phone so far, I haven't had it very long, but with the Wi-Fi, it's got bad signal strength to it. So 5 gigahertz, I haven't seen it full ever, and my Wi-Fi router is pretty close. Also, I had some issues with 2.4 gigahertz, but I think I've fixed it somehow. I don't know how. I was disabling different modes where it uses the Wi-Fi to do locationing. Even if the Wi-Fi is off, it'll still use it for location. You can turn those off, turn that off for Bluetooth, turn it off for the Wi-Fi, and it seemed to help at least with signal strength on the Wi-Fi. And it was actually disconnecting constantly. For whatever reason, it's not at the moment. Maybe there was an update that I didn't notice, or in general, some of the settings changes fixed it. I'm still getting an idea of these cameras in here, which are definitely better than what I had, if they're decent, you know, compared to action cameras. And I'll probably do some tests with this compared to the M50, maybe even the Z5, also the AW1, which is a 1-inch sensor. It's a little older, but still a nice large sensor on there. To see how they all compare to something like this, which this is a very new phone at the moment. And so I would expect, at least considering the price, it's got decent technology in it. This specific phone, at least at the moment, doesn't do raw photos in its own app or in Open Camera, which is the one that I use for raw with my LG phones, which is too bad because it would be very nice, I'm sure, with at least the larger, like censored, normal focal length camera module in here. Fun to mess around with. I have no issue with phones, using them in a lot of different situations. Of course, they're not going to work in every situation. Use them for what you think works best. But in this case, definitely, I've got no problems, no qualms with using them. Anyways, Scuffed Bonds, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. That might be the next thing for action cameras, is to have 2 cameras basically in one. Of course, they're the 360 ones, but I think if you were to have something more set up like a phone in an action camera, you could get better quality for the 2 views.